Welcome back, guys. Today is the day we start our college football week one predictions. Now, before I begin, I noticed I've had a few new subscribers to come to this channel. Thank you for tuning in. So, I want to briefly go over what we do on this channel and well, more so what I do on this channel. This is mostly a sports prediction channel that is basically a spin-off of my music channel that I have. You can subscribe to that as well. But all I do is make predictions, no unscripted, unfiltered, nothing more, nothing less. And I mainly focus on college football and the NFL. And sometimes when the NBA playoffs comes through, I'll dabble in that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I also reached a milestone, now reaching 100 subscribers. Thank you all. It took me long enough, but hey, better late than never. So, anyways, for this college season, we're gonna do something a little different. Notice that I put the lines in because now gambling in some states is legal. And once again, as I've been saying toward the end of my videos lately, please gamble safely. Do not bet what you cannot afford. So with that being said, one more thing. For the college, we only focus on Power 4 schools with Notre Dame included. Good, good. Now we can focus on the first game of the season, and that is the University of North Carolina taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And I've seen the line been kind of all over the place for this game. I've seen Minnesota favored, but now all of a sudden, I've seen Carolina favored. Now these lines could change by the time kickoff commits, but for now, I am gonna roll with the North Carolina Tar Heels to win, only because I believe in them a little more. I know offensively they lost a lot, quite a bit, but I just don't trust Minnesota just yet. And next up we have is the TCU Horned Frogs taking on the Stanford Cardinals in their ACC debut. And yeah, I'm not really high on Stanford this year. I don't think anyone is. So this one's going to be really easy. I'm going to roll with TCU. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say they could cover. And following that, we have the Virginia Tech Hokies taking on the Vanderbilt Commodores. And for this game, yes, Virginia Tech's probably going to win. We all know that Vanderbilt, there's not much enthusiasm about this football program. If you look at the background at their stadium, you could tell what they mean. So I'm gonna roll with the Hokies for this game. 13 points. That's what they're given. Yeah, you should easily have no problem with the spread here. Next we have is the Clemson Tigers taking on the Georgia Bulldogs in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Now, initially, this was my game of the week for week one. However, looking at that 13.5 spread made me change my mind. So, Clemson, hopefully, they could rebound after two very off years in a row. More so, yeah, more so 3 off years in a row where they didn't make the playoffs. And Georgia, who they missed the playoffs because they had a one bad game against Alabama, they're back, and for me, I think they're the best team in the country by a freaking mile. And Georgia is basically going to put a stamp on their name against Clemson. I don't think this one's going to be even close. Following that, we have the Miami Hurricanes taking on the Florida Gators. And this game, for me, it's more of a toss-up than you think. Luckily, this game is in the swamp. Florida is going to have the home field advantage, but part of me, they say Florida is not really that good of a team. And for Miami, can they finally get over that hump? They do have a new quarterback. I think his name's Cam Ward. He comes from Washington State. And many people are banking on Miami to make that run to win the ACC title. Do I think this is a good... Now, as my pick goes, I was going to pick Florida to win this game, but all signs lately have pointed towards Miami to win. And with the spread giving them 2.5 points, yeah, this game may be closer than you think. But I will not be surprised if Florida wins. Then we have a Sunday game between the LSU Tigers taking on the USC Trojans, and this game will be taking place in Las Vegas with turf, because I think that stadium, they use grass for the Raiders, but turf for college games. And for this game, I mean, USC has a lot of unknowns right now for me to go with. LSU, they're giving them 4.5 points, so they're a favorite to win. I am going to go ahead and pick LSU to win, but I think this one's going to be super close. Might be a fun game to watch. And then we have the Monday night game between Boston College taking on Florida State. And we actually have a Florida State. They already played this weekend. Oh boy. They lost to Georgia Tech on a last second field goal. Florida State, they came into this season like we're the underdogs because they got screwed out of the playoffs, which they did. And they came out, laid an egg against Georgia Tech, and even though I didn't do a prediction for that game, I kind of saw it coming. Because I said Georgia Tech do not, because part of me thinks Georgia Tech's going to be a good team. Well, they proved it. Well, they proved it last Saturday. But okay, whatever. And when I looked at the spread, before that game, it was like at 21.5 points. Now it's at 15. And a lot of people, I know a lot of Florida State fans, they're pointing one finger at the blame, and that's to DJ Uyangale, because he obviously he did not play well in this game. But never mind. Do I think they're gonna rebound? I Luckily this is back at Doak Campbell Stadium, so I do think they're gonna win this one. However, if they drop to 0-2, oh boy, that's going to be something to be discussed. And last but not least, my game of the week, which will be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish taking on the Texas A&M Aggies. And now, there's a reason why I chose this as my game of the week over Clemson and Georgia. Because there are more storylines with this game than you think. And if you don't know, the new Texas A&M head coach used to coach at Duke. The quarterback from Duke, who he coached under last year, he entered the portal and now plays for Notre Dame. So they're going to be reunited in some form of context. That's why I chose this as the game of the week, and the spread is only 3 points. And to me, a lot of people think A&M, they've been hyped up to be this elite SEC team, and now that they're, at least in the Jimbo Fisher era, it proved to us that they weren't. But now they got a new head coach. And yeah. So, as for a winner, I went back and forth. But I am going to go with the home team Aggies to pull off the win over Notre Dame. I think Kyle Field is going to be very lit. I think A&M, they're going to pretty much say, yeah, we're going to be back. And we're not going to be an SEC pushover this year. For yet. And that concludes week 1. Only 10 games. Now as the season goes on, when there be more Power 5 matchups, this video will be longer. But for those short weeks like this, I'll take it. But anyway, tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please gamble safely. And I'll see you next time.